Hello, welcome back to Dispatch Appalach. I'm not crazy, I'm Gonzo. Uh, Thank you for joining me. I'm your host, Hector Delgado. I'm still not sure how I'm going to work that out. This is an episode of Dispatch Appalach, your daily journal, field recording from the front lines, field reporting, and it's a field recording. You'll get the ambient sounds of nature. In this case, you'll probably be hearing lots of crows. There's a hell of a lot of crows out today, man. They're so fucking cool to watch. And I just got a visit from dear Dorothy and her sister and niece. I don't know. Little fawn, getting bigger. It's late July. Okay, yeah, what is today? Today is July 26th, I'm pretty sure. Day 122, I'm pretty sure. I really got to start remembering, you'd think after all this time, for 4 months, I would remember to check ahead before I start recording. But I also kind of like to challenge myself to keep it straight in my head, I'm about to have my second cup of coffee. Let's see if it dribbles. So I just filmed a demonstration. See, this time it's doing fine. I just technically recorded my first episode for Flat Spot Magazine. I did a product review and demonstration for my camp stove here. It's out of sequence because I got to record the introduction first. Or I got to post the introduction first. I'll be doing that after this, presumably. Yeah, your top story is that I'm still here in Glasgow at the shelter, hanging out, and it's probably coming up on like 7 o'clock. Um, I decided to chill out last night. Um, I did a nice resupply at the Delaware General Market here. It was a lot cheaper than going across the street, and if I didn't have to get coffee, it would have been one of the cheapest resupplies I've done. And I increased my. I've got to improve my diet. I feel like I'm. I don't know. I'm doubling my protein for the evenings. Instead of one packet of tuna in my ramen bomb dinner, I'm gonna put two. That's it's not a great improvement. And I don't know that necessarily that it's just protein that I need to improve my diet. Um, and I guess it's more than that. But I have yet to talk to an expert um, about that. That'll be for a future show. Um, I'm gonna look into like protein milk and things like that. Some people use it. I'll find out how legit all that is. Anyway, we need to be quick, so I might record more than one of these in a day, but I'm gonna restrict them to 15 minutes. Which speaking of which, to do that, I've got to be able to see the timer on the phone. It's not a very conducive location. Yeah, trying to set up the shot. This is okay. You can't, you can't see Gonzo. Oh, I like it if I'm not gonna have a big beautiful setting behind me, which they kind of all are out here on the fucking Appalachian Trail, you guys. But it'd be cool to have my branding, my trail name is Gonzo. I'd like to have that visible, or on the far side of my tent. Months ago now, I wrote what's going to be my catchphrase, my sign off, my signature sign off, and the slogan for the magazine, "May you always find your flat spot." It'd be cool if I could have those in the shots, even if it shows up backwards, as things do when you're filming yourself. Okay, so yeah, we're already a third of the way through the length of this video, and I haven't really covered anything yet. Yeah, okay, well, there's not a lot to cover, I guess, because I just chimed in last night. But I decided to rest a little bit this morning. I did the resupply. Uh, I had to get a large thing of shaving cream. It's gonna be heavy, but it was 20 cents cheaper to get a travel size thing, which is crazy. Or it was smaller. It's not the smallest I've seen and used and carried. But and it was shaving gel, which I'm not a fan of. I prefer foam. Just give me good old fashioned Barbasol. But I swear the last time I got Barbasol at Dollar General was $2 even, and this was like $2.90. But was able to find a small tube of toothpaste in the travel section. And since I have been able to chill the fuck out some on this trip and relax and cope with my anxiety a lot better, I spend way more time hunting for bargains and checking prices and things. And there was a whole aisle of dollar deals. I found a pack of 50 biodegradable baby wipes um, for $1, man, $1 for 50, and they're plant based, and so I don't feel so bad about leaving them behind. I mean, it gets buried, whatever, but I still like toilet paper breaks down pretty quickly, and I still, it says it's alcohol free and all that, I don't want to. I probably wouldn't use them. I still have a stash of toilet paper because, so like lately, I've just been encountering pit privies, and I don't think it really matters what you put in them. But the ones with the delicate microbiomes, the moldering privies, I don't want to put stuff in those that might fuck up bacteria life. Um, but they had cheap stuff. I went ahead and replenished my trail mix because they had cashews, varieties of cashews for cheap, and chocolate covered raisins and peanuts for cheap, and right, just straight up raisins. And I think that's all I added, but it'll get me through for a long time. Yeah, so because I'm trying to plan for a pretty big trip, roughly 75 miles to Waynesboro, and it'll be a challenge because I'm not making the miles like I did back in the Smokies. I crossed the 75 miles of Smokies in 5 days, partly because I had a deadline to meet my friend Serious Goose in Hot Springs, and I didn't want to resupply in Gatlinburg, and I wanted to get there quick. I wasn't comfortable with the restrictions about staying in or near shelters. It was still quite crowded on the trail back then. Whereas now I stay near shelters pretty often because there's often a privy and a picnic table and water source, and it's just not so crowded. I still set up my tent. I still give myself plenty of distance where if someone is using it, I can do things like a gentleman showed up yesterday, last evening, and is sleeping there. And so I would have been easier maybe to record at the tables over there, but I'm not going to disturb them, and I don't want to film. I still, it's been my policy not to film anyone without their consent. Um, it's good coffee. It's nice to have a mug. It's nice to have a handle. I looked into when I need to replace my collapsible cup. It's full of holes. But when I looked at the outfitter when I was in Daleville, pretty sure, yes, Daleville, they're like 30 or 50 fucking dollars, man, for a good one. There's got to be cheaper ones somewhere. That's a problem for another day. Maybe I'll find one in a hiker box. Maybe I'll just find one in the weeds in the bush. gonna have to replace that flint very soon. Um, okay. So, talked to my sister yesterday. She was like, I was whining about not getting any rest and still having so much to do. I still hadn't resupplied and I needed to shower again. I still hadn't done laundry even. Um, that went smoothly. The resupply went smoothly. Dude took a shower when he got here, which was fine because I was consolidating my groceries and um, gave the tank some time to heat back up. And um, I almost had to break out the headlamp to have enough light to trim my nails. But that band that played last night was really good, man. They played lots of great stuff. They did a Guns N' Roses medley, and um, they did it was weird because they started with Paradise City, and then they went back to Welcome to the Jungle, which, if you know the album, I've listened to it. It's probably in my top 3 albums. The opening track is Welcome to the Jungle, so it's out of sequence, which was odd. But then they did Sweet Child of Mine. And then later they were doing a Scorpions. I can't remember which one it was. It's not Hurricane. Is it Big City? Yeah, Big City Lights. Um, they did a medley that shifted from that to Inner Sandman, and it was good. There was a guy doing vocals too, but it was mostly a lady. And but whoever did lead solo guitar was really good, and it sounded just like the fucking Kirk Hammett, solo. Like a lesser band might have just jammed, but it sounded like well rehearsed, well practiced, like very much like the original Kirk Hammett solo. Anyway, so a couple guys showed up and talked to dude for a long time, and I was kind of glad to not get cornered. Um, but again, collecting these stories from people, I heard him talking about this and that, but I heard him talking about fentanyl and just, you know, like the assumption might be that the people in these towns, and yeah, when I walked through Blairsville and when I walked through Franklin, saw a lot of Trump signs and shit, and the assumption might be that this is Trump territory, being, backcountry, so to speak. But whether they are or not, that don't really matter to me. People are dealing with a lot of shit, man, and I want to hear their stories. I want to hear what concerns they have, And he was talking about the prevalence of drugs, dangerous drugs, and it would have been interesting to talk to him, but I had shit to do, and I'm not even done. Started getting tired. I had planned to go back to the library, do some uploading. I still got to record the first fucking intro, Um, but it got dark, and I was tired. I was like, I'm gonna stretch my back out, and then I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna take a nap. And then I was like, I woke up and could still hear the people that live next door here. They weren't partying hard, but they had music going and we were talking, laughing, and stuff. It didn't keep me awake, but they were still going at it when I woke up. Um, uh, so I was like, fuck it, I'll do some recordings. I'll go to the library. I roll a few smokes. I'll go to the library, and I found a secret little spot where you can get full bars outside, and get some things uploaded, and then I will just leave it there and hope that, because I deleted so much stuff, it shouldn't fuck up like it did before. Um, okay, and we've just about reached time here, so that's the plan. I'll chime in again. But until next time, like and subscribe on all the things. Find me at Hector Delgado. Find me at Flat Spot Magazine on YouTube, Facebook, Substack, lots of things. Be like water, may you always find your flat spot.